It is undeniable that John Cena is one of the best professional wrestlers that there has ever been, and some of his matches have just been breathtaking. Often Cena has been criticised for not being great in the ring, but yeah, I've decided today to make a list that just proves that wrong, by counting down 10 of John Cena's most memorable matches. Let's get straight into it. Start off with John Cena vs Shawn Michaels from Raw on April the 27th, 2007. John Cena was not well liked by the hardcore audience in 2007. He was popular with kids, but his work was well below the level you would expect from the face of the company. His feud with Shawn Michaels was a large portion of what gave him credibility. Their match at Mania 23 was one hell of a match, but on Raw it is better. They wrestled for 55 minutes and put on a clinic. WWE matches just don't last that long unless it's an Iron Man match, and these two carried the match perfectly. It's also resulted in Michaels getting a non-title win over Cena, a must-watch for any fan who missed it. Number 9, John Cena vs Cesaro from Raw on July the 6th, 2015. John Cena introduced the world to the US Open Challenge in 2015 after beating Rusev at Mania 31. Cena put the title on the line every week. From a consistency standpoint, this may be Cena's best run. As for how his matches go, this was one of the best. Cesaro is one of the most underused stars on the main roster and showed how good he was. His match with Cena was just brilliant and a worthy main event. Number 8, John Cena vs Kevin Owens, Elimination Chamber 2015. During the same time as the Cesaro match, John Cena took on Kevin Owens in Owens' main roster debut. WWE had a very distinct main event style. It's a style that has produced many great wrestlers, and Kevin Owens was no different. They wrestled for 20 minutes and they competed like two men unfamiliar with each other. Owens got the clean win, which is a rare occurrence for the heel, and it just put him over like crazy. Number 7, John Cena vs Edge at Backlash 2009. Today, Edge would have a very good claim to being Cena's best opponent. They had a great series of matches in 2006 before reigniting their rivalry in 2009. This culminated with a tremendous last man standing match at Backlash 2009. There was a ton of creative spots in this match as Cena gave Edge an AA into the crowd, as they did a good job brawling through the crowd. As Cena and Edge fought on the stage, Big Show appeared and chokeslammed Cena into a searchlight. The light exploded and caught fire on Cena. Number 6, John Cena vs CM Punk, Raw, Feb 25th, 2013. CM Punk recently called this match his most proud moment of his career. Maybe one day we will see if Cena feels that way. Cena and Punk almost had great chemistry, as seen in their rivalries in 2011 and 2012. This was the last time they would face each other, and probably one of the best. Cena and Punk battled right to the end for the chance to face The Rock. While Punk was extremely frustrated with his direction at the time, this did not stop him from putting on one of the best Raw matches ever, and Punk famously delivers a pile driver to Cena, a move seldom used by anyone not named The Undertaker. In the end, Cena won, and they continued on to WrestleMania, but this was certainly a good stop on the road. Number 5, John Cena vs Daniel Bryan, SummerSlam 2013. John Cena is a bad rap for not putting over young talent. At SummerSlam 2013, Daniel Bryan challenged Cena, and this was a very interesting clash of stars. Bryan had spent the build-up criticising Cena as a wrestler, but Cena stepped up big time. There were sequences of Japanese strong style striking in the match, which highlighted the clash of styles between the two men. Eventually, Bryan debuted his running knee finisher and beat Cena clean. Unfortunately, they never wrestled a singles match again. Number 4, John Cena vs Randy Orton, Breaking Point 2009. The Cena-Orton rivalry was overdone to the point of parody. They had multiple feuds, both going separate ways. For all their pay-per-view main events, only small matches were good, but this one was great. At Breaking Point, Cena and Orton wrestled an I Quit match. The story was simple. Orton handcuffed Cena and tortured him, but Cena refused to quit. That was right at the beginning of Cena's never give up character, and it was more drama than you've ever seen in an I Quit match before. Cena managed to get the key from Orton and handcuff the two of them together before choking Orton with his own arm. Number 3, John Cena vs Brock Lesnar vs Seth Rollins at Royal Rumble 2015. Maybe the best triple threat match ever. This was a story of distinct characters. John Cena was the hero, Seth the villain, and Lesnar the monster. Distinct characters make the match easier to follow, and this was such a good match. Cena was searching for his 16th world title while Rollins was looking to destroy Lesnar. They had a great match with Cena and Rollins trying to withstand Lesnar's onslaught. However, they were unsuccessful. Moving on to number 2, John Cena vs AJ Styles, Royal Rumble 2017. We talked earlier about the main event style. There may not be a better example of such a match. than this one between Cena and Styles. Right out of the gate, they were exchanging big moves such as the AA Styles clash. In the hands of less talented match, this may not have worked, but thankfully Cena and Styles are two of the best. Cena showed a bit more aggressiveness here than usual, and he was able to keep Styles down. Finally, after two powerful AAs, Cena got the win and won the title. It's one of the best matches in either man's career. And number one, no contest, John Cena vs CM Punk, Money in the Bank 2011. It had to be this match. There are a few times WWE get things so personally, and this was one of the times. The build-up to the match was electric, with Punk's entrance after his famous pipe bomb promo. The promos before it made it all worth it. The most important part of all was that the match lived up to all the hype, helped by one of the hottest crowds in history. These two produced an honest-to-God 5-star match, while Cena more than held up his end of the bargain, and they capped off one of the most magical nights in WWE history. But anyway guys, that's it for the video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, remember your thoughts, comments down below, and if anyone to us, thank you so much for me for daily wrestling news, and subscribe to my channel, very much, they would greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace!